Hey everyone, Paul Dragu here with the New American, and I am at the 2022 GOP convention in Houston, Texas. And I am here with Ron Brown. Ron, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, man.
Absolutely.
So Ron, you're with the John Birch Society, and of course we have a booth here, and I just kind of wanted to ask you a few questions. We could start out with what made you join the John Birch Society?
Well, I accidentally kind of came to one of the luncheons after going to one of the Trump rallies. A friend of mine said, "Hey, I want you to come to this meeting, this luncheon," and I had no idea what it was about, and I didn't know anything about the John Birch Society, so I kind of accidentally fell into you guys. And once I had lunch and heard what everybody was about, I was like, "These are my people."
What exactly did you hear to make you say that?
Well, I mean, it was all about talking about the deep state and everything, and things that I really, it took a long time to, slowly educate myself in about these things. And, when the 2016 election came along, I mean, I really had no idea. I was a former Democrat, and I didn't really understand what all was going on. I didn't know what a conservative was.
Wait a minute. You were a former Democrat, and now you are part of the John Birch Society. Let's roll back a little. This obviously didn't happen overnight. How did you start transitioning? What brought you? Why were you a Democrat in the first place?
Because in college and everything, it was like Republicans were terrible people. They hated everybody. They're super Christian, super religious. They, were against everything. And I don't know. I was like, they were just like they were made out to be the evil demons. And I really didn't even know what all that meant. Yeah. So, and all my friends were like, oh God, conservatives, Republicans are terrible people. They, they're just.
So a lot of this was typical of, it was your environmental influence, huh?
Yes. And even though I went to an extremely conservative college, Texas A&M.
Okay. And so when did how did it start turning? How did your perception of not necessarily Republicans, but conservative politics turn?
Well, it all happened when the Hillary emails got released. And I had voted for Hillary when Hillary was running against Barack Obama. And when Barack Obama won the nomination, I couldn't vote for him. I didn't like him at all. And I thought he didn't have enough experience. But
you liked Hillary?
At that time I did, because I liked the Clintons when they were in the White House. I thought Bill Clinton did a good job back then. Little did I know what all was going on behind the scenes, but the truth eventually came out, right?
Right. So walk us through. So a few years later, it sounds like a couple of years later, you get into this luncheon, and you've been you've been somewhat transformed. But now you're getting into the John Birch Society. What do you think makes the John Birch Society unique from other conservative, constitutional type organizations?
Well, they always cite the truth.
Yeah.
So, there's usually not a spin on it. It's all based on facts, and the facts are the facts, and you can't change those.
Any issues in particular that we tackle, or any narratives that we have been putting out there that we really work hard on, or any of those really resonate with you?
Well,
you mentioned the deep state, I guess.
The fact that they discuss the deep state, they recognize the deep state, and after you recognize those things, you can see how that relates to everything else and all the other agendas that are pushed.
When it comes to that, your interaction as far as activism and talking to other people and like bringing this truth to them, has that become easier, or did you come along at a time? Are you part of that big wave of people who've come to realize what's going on? And but do you? I guess it's kind of two questions there. Is it easy to convince people now that there is a deep state, that there is a global new order in the mix?
Well, there's only certain people that you can talk about it, really. I mean, you can see that people are are craving the knowledge, and then there's other people that, I mean, you don't even go there because you're a conspiracy theorist, and you know.
Oh, I remember. How did your family take? How do they react to you or your friends? Were there friends who heard or family members who heard? It's like, ooh, you're part of the John Birch Society.
Yeah, my dad gives me a hard time about it, but he's joking usually. My parents are extremely conservative, pro-Trump, I mean, they're Republican, but I bought them as a gift for Christmas the subscription to the New American, and they've read that, and boy, have they opened up.
No kidding, huh?
Yeah, they were pretty much sleepers until, and then, when COVID came along, my father took the vaccine. My mother said, no way. And, it's little slow things. He never got boosted, thank God, after they, read the magazine about what all was going on beside the agenda with COVID. But
so your father, first he gets the vaccine, then he reads the New American, and he's like, you know what? I'm not getting boosted.
correct.
Wow. So that's a testament.
And I have a sister who's a doctor who actually pushes those things.
The vaccines and all that.
Yeah, and she's a conservative, and she pushes vaccines and boosters.
So this must be a fun family reunion type situation, huh?
Yeah.
We won't go into that. All right. We'll leave it with this, Ron. What advice do you have for people who want to get involved, or what advice do you have for people who want to get involved?
Go to a meeting, go to a luncheon, listen to what it's all about, be open-minded, and I think you'd be pleasantly surprised.
There you go, folks. And if you'd like to get more information, you can go to jbs.org. Also, as far as getting information, you can get a hold of a coordinator. You go to jbs.org under our Act Now tab, and you find contact. Get in touch with a coordinator. You put your zip code in there, and we'll be in touch with you, and we'll let you know if you got a chapter nearby or anything like that. Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.